Hi, this is the Utah Defender. What I have before you, I'm going to ask you to write each one of these government officials to open the case on Chase Allan, to reopen it. It has to be done by someone other than in Utah. So that's something that you have to write as a caveat in your request. You would prefer that the FBI, and you can't ask the FBI of Salt Lake City because they've been implicated that they trained the Farmington Police Department how to do away with Chase Allan. And that's what this video is about, Chase Allan. Of all the videos I've made, this is probably the most important one because none of these individuals that I'm showing you, there's the Attorney General's address, Merrick Garland. It's got his email, phone number, mailing address. Senator Lee, I've never written him about this, but I'm putting him down because of the Utah governor. I think he'll help us. Then you got Senator Reyes, the Attorney General of Utah, worthless human being, worthless. And then you have the governor, who's a human piece of shit. And then you have the 4 TV stations. And what I really like about KSL is that was church-owned. I think they still have a huge holding. And they laughed at us when we were picketing them. They didn't report the story of Chase Allan. They only reported what the police wanted you to know. They never showed you the assassination shot where Chase Allan was shot 3 times in the back of the head, did they? They never showed you that. Why? Ask yourself. Because the chief tampered with all the body cams. Okay? So if you want the addresses, here they are: FBI, Attorney General, Senator Mike Lee, the Attorney General of Utah, the Governor's Office, Channel 2, Channel 4, KSL, and Fox News, and the 2 local newspapers. Those are the addresses. So, the reason why I'm doing this video is to tell you, if you have not watched all the way through, you got to watch the 2.5-hour video I have. And you've got to watch it all the way through from beginning to end, because if you're not, the average watch time on that, I think, is like 6 minutes. You're not watching it. You're not getting all the information. You're not getting the information that's really going to piss you off. Not one body cam. Let me tell you a couple of reasons why this, when you watch the video, it'll tell you that it was an execution of the kid. First of all, they had Kyle Carey, shot him 3 times in the back of the head. Kyle Carey's job in assassinating Chase Allan was to ensure that he never got out of the car. But you got to remember, they told Chase Allan, Ganusko and Butcher, and then Sergeant Taylor Jacobson all told him to get out of the car. So he was getting out of the car, and they went, holy shit, you got to be kidding me. He's going to get out of the car. And then he was bum rushed by Sergeant Taylor Jacobson back in the vehicle. Why? You have to ask yourself why. This is a very important point. Why? Because he would have gotten out of the car and showed no gun in his hands. That gun, the whole stop, was between his seat and the center console. That's where the gun was. There's not one body cam that they could show you where he had a gun in his hand. Think about that. Without showing you one body cam, when Taylor Jacobson, his body cam's totally omitted. When he went into the car to bum rush Chase Allan, you should have been able to see his body cam, but they cut it off. Why? Because it would not have supported their narrative that he pulled a gun out. But again, not one body cam ever shows Chase Allan pulling a gun out. That's what you got to think about. They think you're so stupid, you're not going to challenge this or say, you got to be kidding me. Where's the picture of the gun in his hand? Now, when Taylor Jacobson bum rushed him in the car, where was the struggle for the gun that he said he saw? And you're not going to run out of the car, I'm telling you that. Taylor Jacobson would have never got he couldn't outrun a bullet. He would have been shot and murdered right there if that was Chase Allan's intent. And think about this. He's college educated, studying 2 years of law. And the thing that you have to think about is he really that stupid that he's going to see 5 police cars to his right that all came in at the same time and have a running gun battle with him? He's not going to pull his gun out. Nobody's going to pull their gun out. And why wasn't when Eric Ganusko was on the other side of the car and Taylor Jacobson says that there was a gun in the seat, and he also says at another point in time it was on the floorboard, and yet it was also on the wheel well, right? That's tampering with evidence. Why didn't Ganusko see that gun on the seat when he was on the other side of the car? Did you ever ask yourself that? Why didn't Butcher see it when he looked in? And why did Butcher say, is there anybody else in the car? Because his fat, lazy ass was too lazy to bend over and look in the car. So he asked Chase, and Chase goes, well, why are you asking me that? It's because Butcher had a guilty conscience, didn't want to murder or have any other witnesses. That's why he wanted to know if anybody else was in the car. The chief says in his Dog and Pony show, oh, you know what? There was no other dispatch calls. He just blurts that out at the beginning of his press conference that he has. Yeah, there was. There was 2 calls that I can track. One guy says, I'm 15 minutes out, and then Butcher goes, 7, where are you? I'm right behind you. They were all stacking up behind him, driving up State Street, all 5 of those cars following him in on federal property. They should have never been on federal property to write that kid a ticket. They weren't deputized. There's no agreement between Farmington, as far as I know, so they had no right whatsoever. There was no exigent circumstances. This was about a license plate. This young man, a child of Diane Chase, or Allan, died at the hands of the police because of a license plate. But you have to know, for 2 years, this family was in deep kimchi with the police department, the mayor, and the city council members. They hated their guts. They did everything they could to disrupt their lives. The city council are a bunch of pieces of human shit. The mayor's a piece of shit, and the police chief is a piece of shit. Then they get Troy Rollins backs him up, and he says, because he had a gun in the car and he had possession of it because he was in the car, they had the right to shoot him without ever having him shoot at them. That's bullshit. Do you believe that? Think about that. They had the right to shoot him just because his gun was in the car, and they consider that possession, and they don't have one body cam that shows him pulling a gun out? Think about that. That's murder. That is justified state murder. That's why we're pissed off. That's why I need you to write all these people. I mean, I can go on and on of the reasons why Chase Allan never pulled a gun out and why this was all bullshit circumstances. And this whole report was whitewashed. It was whitewashed. And then when he says, D.A. Rollins, this shouldn't have been decided on the side of the road with the gun. He wants to keep saying the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. He never pulled the gun out, stupid. He never pulled the gun out. But you want to make it about a gun that he never pulled out, and the police officers murdered him because they knew he had a gun. He was concealed carry. You can find out whatever you want on somebody after 2 years, and that's what they did. Chase Allan was murdered because they considered him a sovereign citizen. He was an American national, which is totally something different. And it's all legal. And that dumbass, John Karlinchowski, that son of a bitch that runs that little courthouse down there for traffic court, is a piece of human shit because he had that kid arrested in his courtroom. And to show you how bad our government is, the Judicial Conduct Commission of Utah whitewashed my complaint. There was no warrant whatsoever for Chase Allan. They said, oh, we got the wrong Allan. That's a bullshit story too. And I had Deputy Sadler of the Davis County Sheriff Department tell me and a friend of mine that there was no warrant when when John Karlinchowski had him arrested. And then, to make matters worse, then we have the Utah Judicial Conduct Commission whitewash it and cover it up. So the judge, I'm telling you, the most corrupt sovereign citizens, the worst sons of bitches that walk the face of the earth in Utah is our governor, our attorney general, Davis district attorney, that judge, John Karlinchowski, the mayor of Farmington, all the city council people, and that son of a bitch chief, Eric Johnson. They're the ones that are guilty. And the police officers, the 6 police officers, Kurt Pence is just as guilty because he was present. It's just like if there was a robbery and there's 4 robbers of a bank and the last guy out murders the guard, everybody's charged with murder. So Kurt Pence gets the murder charge too. And because Troy Rollins and John Karlinchowski were involved in the planning, and I'm alleging that, of the murder of Chase Allan, they need the death penalty too. They need to have the death penalty. Look, you think police are heroes? These sons of bitches, none of these guys are heroes, especially Sergeant Taylor Jacobson. He's the worst of the bunch. He's a piece of human shit. So I need everybody to watch this and like it. I want you, look, I'm not monetized. It doesn't mean anything to me when you like it, but hit the like. By hitting the like, it tells me that you're going to write these people. That's all I want you to do. And then leave a 1 in the comments to let me know that you hate these son of a bitches as much as I do, and you agree with me that this was murder. And for you bootlickers, your ass is going to be hidden away. I don't want to hear your bullshit comments. So this is the most important. It's kind of like the capstone of my videos on Chase Allan. I need you people to start hounding these people to get up off their ass and bring justice to the Allan family and Chase Allan. Watch the 2.5-hour video. You go, holy shit, how did they find this kid guilty? And they manipulate all the body cams. The chief did. That's a felony. And they took the gun and pulled it out. That's a felony. You can't touch anything in a crime scene. But they did that so that they could present it to the public that we're the good guys. They're a rotten son of a bitches. That whole town smells like shit. The Davis Justice Center is the biggest shithole there is, and so is the Farmington Police Department. You guys need to re-elect new people because these people are all corrupt. Thank you for listening. Please leave a like and a 1 that you agree with me that you're going to help and get this stuff done. Thank you so much. Watch the video, the 2.5 video. Go back to it. Watch the whole thing because you'll go, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. There are so many areas that prove that this was a murder by the police and the Farmington city people, and the DA backs it up. And I don't have to allege it. You look at it and you'll see it. But to implicate the people, I have to say I allege it. So there it is. Let me know. Leave a like and a 1 if you hate their guts and you're going to do something about this. Thank you so much.